it's time for me to start in on the drawers. The fronts of the drawers I've already cut, and I'm using the 3/4 inch walnut, and for the sides and the backs are going to be 1/2 inch maple. I've already planed these down to a 1/2 inch. Now I need to cut them out to strips, which are the same size as the fronts. Okay, so I've cut all the pieces for the drawers, and I want to cut dovetail joints in the fronts of the drawers. The backs will be a little bit different. On one of the drawers, I've already cut out the dovetail, and it's important when you're laying out dovetail joints to set everything up first. And what I've done is I've marked on the top of each piece what's the right, the left side, the inside, and so I get an idea of how I can run them through the dovetail jig. This is my dovetail jig. There's a lot of different types of dovetail jigs, and this is a really basic, simple one. But what it does is it allows you to cut the tail pieces and the pins at the same time. The fronts of the drawers fit right up against the stop block, and this little clamping mechanism will clamp them down. The side pieces will slide up like that. And what you do is you line the two of them up and you clamp everything down. Now, dovetail jigs come with a template. This template lets me run the router up and down through here to cut those pins. It sets down like so and clamps down. And the important part about this is the router itself. And if you look at this bit, I've got a 1/2 inch dovetail bit installed in my router, and it's on a special plate, and I've got a little bearing here. This little bearing is important because that bearing runs inside of these grooves to create the dovetails. And it takes a lot of fussing to get it right, and you got to run a lot of tests. And again, if you can hand cut dovetails, it's probably a lot quicker than using this jig. Okay, I've got the jig all set up, and I've got my router bit in, and now it's just a matter of following these grooves with the bearing on the router. Okay, now I can take this faceplate off of the jig and loosen up the front piece and the side piece. Now you can see these are the pins, and they'll fit right into the tails like that and make a nice joint. Now I've got a 1/4 inch dado cut that'll hold the bottoms of the drawers, and if you noticed on here I cut the dado just shy of the depth of the dado so that it doesn't show along the edge. I don't need to cut dovetails for the backs of the drawers because they're not going to show, but I do want to make a rabbet joint just to give it some extra strength. And for that I'm going to use my dado set. I've got a 1/4 inch blade, and I've set up a stop block here, and I'll just run them through. Yeah, those two rabbet joints will fit together just like so and make a nice strong joint. Okay, now I've got all the pieces cut for the drawers, including 1/4 inch plywood panel that'll sit into the bottom. Now I've just got this dry fit right now just to see how it's all going to fit, and the bottom will fit in like that, and these rabbets that I cut for the back will fit in just like so. Now before I can glue this up, I need to take it apart and, of course, do a lot of sanding inside because I won't be able to get to it once it's assembled.